something unique from our country. So I got the real tacky.
I've got one of these.
Shit.
Great. Thank you very much. Actually, I don't need that. I'm mic'd up. Hey, good morning. Put this somewhere I won't forget it. As I mentioned, my name is Jared Allgood. I'm the CEO, founder of Juxta Labs. It's really humbling to be here, to be speaking to you. I'm going to focus my comments on just one very specific thing that hopefully is some value, and maybe you can take it back to your companies. It'll help you save some pain and heartache. Some of these things that I've gone through as an entrepreneur. As I mentioned, so this is product plug. I'm not going to be talking about this product. It's not a pitch. But go download Word Tag. We just launched it in January. It's a great word game. Spend lots of in-game currency and upgrade for $1.99 on multiple devices. We'd really appreciate it. Some of my investors are here. We're just trying to invest what we can. Anyway, what I want to talk today is about product, actually. I've worked at multiple startups since college. I have started my own companies, and I've always been focused on product development, and product design. It's what gets me going. I really like it because it takes some creativity and process to go and solve a human problem. And I think that's relevant, and anybody who works on product, you're my hero. It's a great thing. I have worked on products from, I've led design on a SaaS crime analytics tool that's being used by thousands of police departments. I've worked on design on educational software. I've worked on games, so I've kind of run the gamut. And the title of my talk is Wait, Don't Take the Money, or yet, or at least until you've got product market fit. The guys who are speaking after me, who I know that's the reason you're still in this room, with Paul Ostrom and Dave McClure, they're great guys. They've got money and they'll invest, and that's a wonderful thing, but you don't want their money, at least not yet. So that's the premise of my talk today. Product design and product market fit really is the key to fundraising, and it's the key to having an enjoyable experience as an entrepreneur. Something happens when entrepreneurs raise money, and this has happened to me. When that money hits your bank account, the first thing that you do is you start to drink your own Kool-Aid. You start to believe all the things that you told those investors, the vision that you pitched. And the fact of the matter is, for most of you, everything that you're telling these investors, they're just bold-faced lies. You actually don't know what you're talking about. You don't know who your customer is. You don't know if anybody's ever going to buy anything that you do. And if you take the money, you're going to storm down this path to failure. When you take the money, a clock starts ticking. And in the beginning, you think, this is the clock that's ticking down. It's counting down to my ultimate fame and success and wealth, and everyone's going to love me. But about halfway through, you start to realize that clock ticking down is just ticking down to you running out of money. And that creates an enormous amount of pressure, an enormous amount of pain. And so my goal in this talk is to talk about product market fit and the way that you can go through a process to avoid all that pressure and all that pain, and you can have a fun, happy, enjoyable life as an entrepreneur. And hopefully at the end of the day, end up famous and wealthy and successful, all those wonderful things. So I'm going to use an example of a product that I worked on with a startup that I did in 2006 called ClassTop. By no means is this the best product we ever did, but the process that we went through to develop and design this product, I'm most proud of. It was an amazing process and kind of an amazing story. So I just want to talk everybody through this, and hopefully you can take something from it. Steve Blank talks about getting out of the building. Everybody's heard of Steve Blank, right? He talks about getting out of the building. The book Nail It, Scale It talks about involving your customers from concept all the way up and through launch. And so what I want to talk about is how we took ClassTop, how we got out of the building at the concept phase and started developing and designing a product to the point where we had customers, people ready to pay money before we had written a single line of code. So this is the story of ClassTop. Ultimately, as an entrepreneur, what you're looking for is you're looking for pain, right? You want to find acute pain that you can solve. And in 2005, somebody had come to us and said, there's this product in the market called Blackboard. Has anybody heard of Blackboard? Okay, so I'm actually bound by contract to never say anything bad about Blackboard. So I'll tell you what other people said about Blackboard. We had heard that instructors hated using this online learning management system, that it was a very painful product to use. And so, entrepreneur ears perk up and I say there's a market pain here. And so our first step in getting out of the building was actually sending some emails. We went and researched, who buys these products and, who are the people there, and we figured out that it was the CTO at universities. And so we wrote cold emails, cold contacting. This is the first secret to product design and development is cold contacting. I wrote an email, and the email was really simple. It was like 2 or 3 lines, and it basically said, my name's Jared Allgood, I run a software company, and we've heard that there's a problem with Blackboard, and we're considering building a solution. Do you want to have input in the solution? So we kicked off this email to 16 different CTOs, and in 5 minutes I got my first response. It was the CTO from the University of Oregon, and he said, let's get on the phone. We got on the phone in 10 minutes, and he told me about this acute pain that he and his school were feeling. Within 2 days, we had 9 responses, so a 56% response rate on cold email. Does anybody here do email marketing? Anybody had a 56% response rate on cold email? 56? He's lying. 56% response rate. It's unheard of, right? And so this is the first clue that there's a real market pain, and maybe this is something that we should look into. And so we interviewed all these guys, and everybody agreed on what the pain was, but nobody had any concept of what a potential solution would be. And so that's where we go back to the drawing board and try and get creative, and we dreamt up a solution. Now at this point, this is usually where an entrepreneur is going to start. If you're an engineer, you're going to start building product, right? You want to make something. And if you're an MBA, you're going to go and start pitching investors. You're going to start raising money and socializing the deal and trying to get people to give you money. And the moment you start doing that, you start building a vision, and you start getting validation from everybody except for the person who's actually going to pay for your product. And so the goal of this process is to pause and to say, wait, don't take the money. If you do it now, it's going to skew your perspective. You're going to poison the well, and you're going to screw up your company. So we pulled back and we waited, and we built this fake demo. So we went to India and we spent $300 and we built this flash demo of totally fake software, right? And we went back to these schools and we said, look, we've got some ideas. We haven't built a thing. We don't have any product. We're not building a company on this yet. But we want to propose our solution to you, and we want to get your feedback on this proposed solution. And one important thing that we did was we brought together the full customer buying panel. So CTO, he's the economic buyer, he's the guy who's writing the check. Blackboard administrator, he's the technical influencer, he's the guy who's going to decide whether or not this thing actually gets installed in the campus. And then the end user is the instructor. If I had gone to the instructors, they would have told me, we'll spend millions of dollars for any solution, this is wonderful, right? But that's not the guy who's writing the check. And so we got these people together, and we got them in a meeting, and we sat down face to face, and we walked through this wonderfully fake flash demo, and we said, if we were to build something, this is maybe what it would look like, and isn't this embarrassing? Right? So we talked through the concepts and the features, and we got them all nodding and agreeing, saying, yes, this is wonderful. And this is typically how these meetings go. When you're a new entrepreneur and you've got a startup, you go and you start showing people this wonderful solution. People tell you, you're brilliant, you're wonderful, this is a great product, we want this product. And the reality is, they're nice, but they're lying to you. And so this is what they told us. They said, this is great, this is wonderful. They asked for new features, they asked for all these wonderful things. And then we did 2 important things. We asked the money questions. So first money question is what we call the $100 R&D game. And it doesn't matter on this product, but on this product we had 16 points of integration with Blackboard. And we said, if we build these features, if we were going to build these features, but if you were going to build it, and we were to give you $100 in R&D budget, how would you allocate it over these 16 different features? And we're expecting them to, get a nice even distribution. But school after school after school that we met with, every school said $80 to $90 on this one specific feature. Now this is great news for an entrepreneur, right? We're expecting to build this big piece of enterprise software for universities. That wasn't me. And it's going to, can you guys hear that? Big enterprise piece of software, it's going to cost us $1 million, $1.5 million to build. And our customers are telling us, you know what, we only want 1 feature, 2 features, right? So this is great news. So the second question is, and this is where it becomes really important for you to not have built a product yet. We sat down with them and we said, great, if we build this product, what would you expect to pay for something like this? Now at this point in the process, this is where you look like a jerk if you've got a real product in hand, right? You just started the product negotiations, or the price negotiations with the full customer buying panel there. It feels like a hard sales tack. Nobody's going to give you any information. But since we didn't have anything to sell them, we hadn't built a product, they could open up and they could answer to us. And the response came back and it was terrible. they told us a really low price point. So we've got, an hour and a half meeting, brainstorming all these great things about this high pain point, and they're coming back and telling us it's a low dollar value. And at this point, it would have been okay for us to throw in the towel, right? We had spent less than $1,000. We had conducted, 40 or so interviews with different universities, and at this point, low investment, low risk, pull the plug, it would have been okay. But something stood out to us. The fact that they kept talking about this high pain point, it didn't jive with the fact that they were quoting this low price point. And so we went back and we did a follow-up. And on the follow-up, basically what we did is we went back to them and we said, we went back to our product demo, we pared it down, and we cut it down just to the 2 or 3 points of integration that they had told us that they really cared about. And we went back to them and so we said, we have taken all the input that you've given us, help us understand if we interpreted this correctly. And we walked them through the product demo again, and we got them nodding and saying, yes, this is wonderful, this is great, we really want this. And we asked the money question again. We said, if we were to build this product, what would you expect to pay for it? And across the board, every university that we spoke to quoted us prices 8 to 10 times what they said in the original meeting.